So everyone, welcome to the Climate Democracy Accelerator. On the screen, you will be able to see the different ways you can choose interpretation. So if you would like Spanish or Portuguese, you can look for a globe symbol like the one on the screen at the bottom, and you can select the language that works best for you. And for those listening in English, at some point we might have a contribution from someone speaking Spanish or Portuguese. So I'll also ask you to locate that little circle at the bottom of the screen so that you can switch to English when we have one of them speaking too. And Adana's put our little symbol in the chat as well. So this is the fourth cohort of the Climate Democracy Accelerator, and I am so excited to welcome you all as our cohort. Over the next 6 months, we'll be working together very closely to support the work that all of you are doing. And so I'm Zoe. I am the Climate Democracy Associate at People Powered. And I just want to congratulate you all for joining this cohort, for being part of it. We received over 350 applications, and we have a really strong cohort. And we know that you're already doing a lot of important work about participatory democracy and the climate crisis. So I'm looking forward to supporting you, but also to building your network with each other as you all support each other in this work as well. And it is not only me who will be supporting you. I am representing a team of people who are really invested in this work and in the work that you will go on to do. So we have People Powered, who are leading this project and who you'll hear more about in a minute. We have the Open Government Partnership Local, and who you will also hear from, and who are our partners supporting this work. And we have the Waverley Street Foundation, who can't be here today, but they also send all of their best wishes to you all as you start your CDA journey. And you'll hear us say CDA a lot as we move through, which is just our acronym for Climate Democracy Accelerator. So what we'll do today, we will go through some introductions now, first meeting each People Powered, the partners, our expert committee, and then each other. We'll then go into a bit of a program overview, and that is the most technical part of our session today. So bear with me, we'll go through the program requirements and the different components and what your journey with us will look like. We'll then give you an opportunity to ask any questions about any of that information that you will hear. And then we'll go into a bit of thinking about, okay, well, why are we here? What is participatory climate democracy? And then go over our next steps as you begin your journey in the program. So along with me and our program team, if you look on the sides of your screen, you can find Amanda, who you'll hear from in a little bit, who is our learning programs manager and supports the accelerator and the thinking about how we're going to go on our learning journey. And we have Aidana, who is our learning program fellow. And she will also be there in the background, really doing a lot of support with the training platform once you get onto it, or hopefully some of you have already made it there, and with thinking about the learning as well. And beyond all of this is our alumni community. So you can see we've already joined you onto this map. You are the little sort of mustard colored circles, but we have a really rich alumni community over 4 cohorts of the CDA who are representing 39 different countries. And all of these people are at different stages of delivering the projects that they designed in this program. And hopefully we'll find opportunities for you to connect with them in the program, but especially once you finish the program and go on to continue your work. And so we're very excited to have you joining them. I will now pass over to Amanda to tell you a bit more about who People Powered are and what the work is that we are doing. So Amanda, over to you.
Thanks, Zoe. Thank you everyone for joining us today and welcome. As Zoe mentioned, I am Amanda Luz, the Learning Programs Manager at People Powered. And we are very, very excited to welcome you to the 4th cohort for the Climate Democracy Accelerator. You are now, as Zoe was saying, connected to a global network of climate innovators, accelerator participants, and our People Powered community. To understand what this means, I'll tell you more about People Powered and why we are hosting this accelerator program. People Powered is a global hub for participatory democracy composed of more than 100 members and organizations across the globe. Our mission is to expand public participation in government decisions In other words, we help advocates and governments like you to directly include community members in making the decisions that affect their lives using different approaches of participation, deliberation, and decision making. So what we do, in the next slide, please, we create communications, resources, training, and mentorship to help governments move down a path towards more participatory programs and policies. We know that there's a lot of information and content out there. But what we do with programs like the Climate Democracy Accelerator is connect you with step-by-step and accessible content, resources, and training developed with partners, but also with experts within our community. And you can now make use of this action-oriented training that Zoe is going to explain a little bit more about and address your unique context and community needs in your climate solutions. I'm looking forward to see the projects that you create in the next few months. So welcome again. I will now hand over to Gustavo to tell you a bit more about OGP Local's work on climate. Pass to you, Gustavo.
Thank you very much, Amanda, and thank you very much, Zoe, as well, for organizing this and inviting us. My name is Gustavo Perez Ara, and I work with the Open Government Partnership. I currently lead a team that's called the Member Services team, and basically we curate and all the services that we provide in terms of guidance, resources, etc., to both our national and local members. And I'm here actually on behalf of Jose Maria Marin, who is the OGP local lead, who has been also working hand in hand with People Powered, and I know in supporting this project. So we are very excited at OGP to partner with People Powered on this new cohort of the Climate Democracy Accelerator program. And basically because OGP, as you might know, the local program is a program that was created to support local governments, civil society, and citizens in advancing their commitments towards an open government. And as we've grown, we have seen that the interest of commitments regarding climate change, or what we also call sometimes green transitions in this case, has grown. And now we have almost around a third of commitments that are related to this issue. So this has been really top in mind. It's in the top 3 of commitments that we see in the action plans that our local cohorts are producing. So clearly, it's just proof of the importance of the issue that in our program right now. Some of these initiatives that we've seen, and I wanted to just tell just very quickly about some of these experiences, have actually succeeded in involving citizens and stakeholders in local climate change policy. Moving from, for example, from Khmelnytsky in Ukraine, where they co-created a Green City Action Plan to develop inclusive climate-neutral economy to ensure growth. This initiative even had an innovation award. It has municipalities have been able to consult a wide range of local stakeholders in the planning stages, collecting data, identifying policy options, etc. And even despite the war, they have continued this co-creation process, adapting their Green City Action Plan to the context. We have also places like in Mexico, for example, Quintana Roo, which, mind you, is a state where there's a big cities where tourism infrastructure is important, and they've established a multi-stakeholder anti-corruption and environmental roundtable to co-create really sustainable plans to address climate change, protect biodiversity, monitor the sustainability of development projects that really impact the communities. So this has been interesting as well. We have experiences in Plateau State in Nigeria that are very interesting as well, setting up extractive transparency forums with community engagement. There's, in Mendoza, for example, there's been an initiative as well to put together a climate change laboratory, co-design collaborative responses to environmental challenges. And like these, many others in Yerevan, so in Scotland, etc. So for this reason, we're really happy to partner with People Powered in this Climate Democracy Accelerator program. We know that already around 18 local members have participated in this program and have continued to be champions in climate democracy. They share the experience in climate participation processes with the members of the program, etc., and beyond. We know that the CDA will support you to take these concrete steps towards implementing new ideas, innovations in the field of public participation and climate change. And this just enriches the vast array of good and impactful practices that we've seen across the world. So yeah, we're very excited to be here and partner with you in this. We will be following the progress that you make, making sure that we also learn about the work, what works, what you've shared as your successes, and hopefully be able to multiply that as well with the community that we reach. So thank you very much for this opportunity, and I wish you all the success in the project, in the program.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Gustavo. And for the cohort, you'll learn more about people-powered and OGP as you move through. And both organizations will also share steps for how you can continue working with them throughout and after your CDA journey as well. So beyond these two organizations who are supporting you, we also have our CDA expert committee. And these are made up of 10 individuals from many organizations, and I'll pass you to one of our expert committee members, Aluchi, to introduce herself and tell you a bit more about the committee. Over to you, Aluchi.
Yeah, thank you very much, Zoe, and thanks everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Oluchi Igili. I'm right now in the Netherlands, where I'm working as a research fellow with the University of Amsterdam. And then I've been with People Powered, with CDA for some years now. So it's a pleasure to have to introduce the climate committee, the expert committee once again. The expert committee for me is it's a conscious effort actually by People Power to make sure that in your journey as a member of the program, you are actually having someone to guide you through, especially with regards to the participation playbook. And here you can see that we have a representation of different expertise, different experiences, different expertise, different geographical areas. You can see it on the screen as you right before you. So there's a lot of experience coming together to make sure that while you're on the CDA program, you're getting the best. And to that extent, you are not just getting from, I mean, I think there's an effort sometimes to make sure that you are connected, you are attached to someone that is from the same geographical area with you, but at the same time, it's not always possible. So, but what I know is that whoever you're attached to, whoever you're going to work with, you're going to be working with somebody who is experienced, somebody who is also passionate about participatory programs, and then I can assure you that you're in safe hands. And so for me, it has been a pleasure working with this committee year after year. And again, I want to invite you to make very good use of the opportunity you have to work with this committee, no matter your location, no matter who you're paired with, but to make sure that you're on a very good journey. I think that's what I can say. Thank you very much, Zoe.
Thank you, Luci. And we have many members of the expert committee in the room. You might be able to spot some of them, and we will go into breakouts now where you will get to meet each other, and you will also get to meet some expert committee members who have been able to join our call. So in your rooms, please be mindful of making sure everybody has a chance to speak. So if you're someone who's a really happy, confident speaker, share, but also pay attention to make sure you step back so others can also have their moment to tell you a bit about who they are and what they're working on. So in the rooms, if you could each introduce yourself and explain where you're coming from, where you are, and the goal you have for the program. And the expert committee member in each of your rooms will make notes, but it would be great as well if somebody is happy to share back. So with that, I think Adana will open up the rooms. And so, yeah, please also feel free to make notes, and we'll give you a chance to ask some questions afterwards. So with no further ado, I will start sharing my screen again. I think it's this. There we go. Okay, so this is an image you will see a lot. Every time we come to a Zoom session, we will return to this image of our participant journey. because this gives you a sense of the overview and of how all the different components we're about to dive into come together. And it is all of these different pieces that make up the accelerator. So why do we call this training program an accelerator? We designed it to offer you a very intensive and action-focused support to help you address a specific kind of policy challenge or climate challenge. And for the next 5 months, we will take you through all of these different components to give you access to training sessions and mentorship and, sorry, and grants and interactive resources to help you design a step-by-step plan to implement your participatory democracy project. So here you can see the snapshot integrating these different components. And at this moment, we are in that sort of bright green circle. We are at our very first kickoff session, where we are starting to think about who we are together as a cohort and what we want to accomplish as we move through these different stages. So tomorrow and Friday, I will send each of you your mentorship matches with an expert committee member. And so then at this stage, you'll be scheduling your first meetings with them to think about your program goals and to think about the scope of the work you're trying to do and what you're hoping to accomplish. After the session, we'll also set you up with a course to guide you through the creation of your participation playbook account, so you can start thinking about the action plan and thinking about what you need in order to move through that process. And to do that, we'll give you access, which some of you already have, to our training platform. And then also the grant, we have a sort of admin line underlining it, which everyone here has already done, which is great. And so what really is special is about the way these things intersect and come together. You could do any one of these things alone, but by bringing them together in one, we can really offer you comprehensive support. And depending on your needs, you can tailor it to the things that you want to focus on and to the things that will most help you design an effective program. And so how are we going to support you to move through all of this and to do this? We are going to offer you the self-paced training. We will help you get onto the platform. We will describe the different courses. We'll set you up with your mentor. We'll explain the step-by-step resources. Then we'll set you up with implementation guidance and the funding. And the other piece, which I think, because it's not a specific platform or specific program, but happens throughout the program in different ways, is this global peer-to-peer learning piece. And some of that part in particular requires initiative from you. So please keep that in mind about this peer network and all the things that it can offer you as you move through the program. So we're now going to go deep diving into each of these components so we can tell you a bit more about them and help you see what's about to come. So with that, our first piece are the step-by-step resources. And there are a few different aspects of this. We have a resource library. And so as you move through the training platform, you'll get links to this and you'll be able to see case studies and read about other people who are doing similar work and learn more about the ways they've done this. And we'll also share program materials that expert committee members and I have worked to create to help you guide your program and move through the work that you're doing. And then the central piece is the participation playbook. So this is the piece that is going to guide you as you move through the program, and you'll often be referred back to this by the training courses, by your mentors, as this will really help you build out the full scope of what you want your program to be and give you your final output. And so with that, I'm going to introduce you to another member of our team, Maria, who leads on our participation playbook work and who is also the person who will be able to help you alongside me if you have issues with this. And she's going to tell you a bit more about what this is. So Maria, over to you.
Thanks, Zoe. Hi, everyone. Great to see you and meet you all here today. My name is Maria Lucian. I'm a program associate at People Powered. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the participation playbook, which is the main resource you're going to be using once you start developing your process with your mentor. So the courses are going to help you learn more about participatory programs, but the playbook is kind of an interactive program designing tool that will hopefully help you apply that knowledge to create your own custom program. So it's going to guide you through the thought process of planning and designing and structuring your participatory program, but your mentors are going to be able to help you with that as you're working through it. So just to add, it is currently available in English, Portuguese, French, and Spanish. So you can use it in whichever language you prefer. So just a little bit of background. The playbook is the result of a collective effort with researchers and practitioners in developing and testing the content over the past few years. We contracted lead editors to draft the content for the 4 main types of programs that you can design. And then these playbooks were extensively tested and revised with the help of our community of experts and practitioners. There were some questions in my breakout room earlier about, like if I'm running assembly, how many participants should there be? Like who should I have in the room? And the idea is that the playbook can help you answer those questions because, there's a lot of different ways that you can design your program, but each question in the playbook is going to give you information on best practices, guidance to help you inform that decision and the possible choices that you can make. And then at the end of completing the playbook, you should have an action plan that can help you with moving forward to start managing and implementing the program that you've got. So there's 2 ways you can get started. We have 4 types of programs you can choose from. So that's participatory budgeting, participatory policymaking, legislative theater, and citizens assemblies. If you don't know which kind of program you want to run yet, you can start with the needs assessment. That can help you by giving you a recommendation based on your situation or your desired outcomes. Or if you already know what kind of program you want to design, you can get started with that program right away, but you might still want to do the needs assessment anyway, just to see what your options are before you settle on a final decision. So I hope this process goes smoothly for you, but if it doesn't and you need some help, there's an FAQ page on the playbook website itself that has like a bunch of videos on how you can use the platform, like its functionalities. I think they're also in the training program, so you can access them there as well. But if you're experiencing any technical issues, you can reach out to me, and I'm going to put my email address in chat. I can help you troubleshoot. So yeah, I think that's about it. I'll hand it back to you, Zoe.
Thank you so much, Maria. Yeah, so Maria is your friendly playbook champion. So, they'll be there for any playbook needs. And 2 things I wanted to flag before we go to our next component. One is remember to select your language at the beginning. It's difficult to change afterwards. So when you first get to the playbook, if you want to do it in French, make sure you pick French, and then everything will appear for you in that language. And the other thing you might be wondering is, how do I get to the playbook? Well, you get to the playbook via our training platform. So on the training platform, you will see a session, which is session 2, and you will be able to watch many videos made by Maria as they guide you through step-by-step how to create an account, how to access the website, and how to get started. So with that, we will talk now a little bit more about the training sessions. So the trainings happen in 2 ways. The first is through Zoom sessions, like the one we're in right now. And the other way is via the training platform. And one thing to note is that even when we have a session online like this, there's still a training platform equivalent. So you'll be able to watch the recordings of the session. It will spell out the training goals for each one. There's a feedback opportunity and spaces for discussion for each of the sessions that we're doing. And in session 1, there's also the participant directory. So that is where you can see who else is in the cohort and you have their contact information. And so again, I would encourage you to reach out to each other via there and to participate in discussions, introduce yourself, say hello, comment back, and that all happens in the training platform. And so in the Zoom trainings, each one, we have a slightly different focus. This is our most administration focused session. The other ones will be focused much more on content and on learning, and then eventually on all of you presenting and sharing back the work that you have created over the program. So in our next Zoom training session, we'll think about exploring participatory climate democracy. Then we'll learn about monitoring, evaluation, and implementation. And then our final session will focus on the celebration and the presentation of your action plans. And you should have all of these sessions in your calendar already. And I really encourage you to come to them when you can, because it's an important opportunity to get to speak with each other and learn from each other in sessions in real time. But we also have the training sessions on our training platform. Sometimes you might see it called a learning management system, or LMS, but we try to call it training platform for simplicity. And so if you ever get lost in the program, the training platform is really the place to go. All of your information is there, from your program syllabus to your video recordings to links to the playbook. And so if in doubt, I encourage you to email me or to return back to the training platform, and you can resituate yourself. So yeah, as I mentioned, you'll find all of the recordings. You'll find additional training sessions covering participatory democracy methods, inclusive approaches, relationship building, and advocacy. And you'll also find things like the details of the grants, about how we do reporting. And each of these, right now, you can only see one session, but I will add you to more as we move through the program. And so, yeah, keep checking back. And the other thing that's really important that you have in the training platform is the mentorship debriefs. And so this, after you have a meeting with your mentor, you go to the training platform to share a few notes about what you discussed. And it's really important that you complete these. And here is the email that all of you should have received. And this is what the training platform should look like for you once you get on there. You have a home page, which is the bottom right image, and then you will have your list of courses. And yeah, as I mentioned now, your course will be very limited, the links, but eventually you will have all of these courses there. And then once you go into a course, this is the page you'll see. And so you can click into the first thing, like welcome to the CDA program, and then you can move through the different pages and activities on the platform. So the third component, which you've already talked a bit about, is your expert mentorship. So each of you in the next 2 days will be assigned a mentor from the expert committee, and we'll share guidance on mentorship and what the expectations are. And it's really important to make the most of this. So to complete the program successfully, you have to have at least 4, but you can have up to 6 sessions. And these should be focused on setting your goals, refining your challenge, talking through the nitty-gritty of your action plan, and then working with them to have a final version of this. And yeah, it's important to schedule these meetings. And the expectation here is that you reach out to your mentor and you ask them for their availability, and you put a meeting in your calendars together, and that you check in with them at these key points in the program, which are more detailed in the guidance document, which we will share. Fourth, we have our support grants. And so each of you will receive $10,000 when you complete all of your sessions, all of your mentorship debriefs, and your final action plan. And there will also be an option to apply for an additional grant, but we'll give you more details about this in December, and that will be detailed in session 7 on the training platform. And then the final 5th component is peer-to-peer learning. So as I mentioned, I will work to facilitate this, and if you have ideas, please let me know. But this also needs to come from all of you reaching out to each other, working with each other. I'm going to make a WhatsApp group for everyone so you can share links that you find or ask questions in there. And this is really, I'll make the group, but it's a space for all of you, not a space to talk to me, really. And you will also have peer support groups. So these are a few people who you'll be assigned to in a group together. So if you have an initial question, reach out to them, and these people will also be working on similar issues to you. And so they can help you do some of the deeper thinking about the topics that you're working on. And then as well, we have the discussion forums in the training platform. And so, yeah, please use those as well. Or feel free to reach out to each other directly. You have each other's emails. And so if someone's in an area you're interested in or working on a topic that's similar to you, please just feel free to, reach out to them yourself. So all of this culminates in our final program expectations, which are that you develop an action plan using the participation playbook, you organize 4 to 6 meetings with your mentor, and you complete your debriefs, you complete your sessions on the learning management system / training platform, that you reach out to your cohort and you learn from each other, and you're a supportive and active member as we move through. So please try to make the most of the different opportunities as we go through the program, and think about all the expertise in the room and how you can best learn from it. But I'm aware that that was a lot of information and quite dense information. So we're going to give you actually more 5 minutes to go back into your breakout rooms you were in to brainstorm any questions you have. And then we'll give you an opportunity to ask them to the wider group. So I will stop my sharing again. And Dana, if you could open up the breakout rooms again.